What's up, guys? So, the other day on the live stream I guess I should say the other night, I made mention that, once, if I have a project ahead of me that's going to take a lot of effort, generally speaking, it gets me, it demotivates me because I'm lazy, and it's like, damn, I gotta spend all this time doing all this shit, and it kind of like, it makes me procrastinate more for doing a video, especially the longer the break I take. Now we're going like over a week long since the last time I did a video. I'm not counting the last live stream, but so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give myself some easy videos to like kind of work my way back into it. I'm still working on the Type R video, but I'm probably gonna go ahead and start doing some features. And instead of doing a whole week of features, I'll probably just do like 1 or 2 shout outs real quick, because the amount of shout outs I was gonna do, I think, have dropped a little. Plus, I still need to go over everybody's like little submissions and stuff. And if you are watching this and you were one of the ones that commented on that video I did, you guys need to hit me up on Facebook. Yes, Facebook, because it's a little bit more organized and stuff. And if you give me links in Facebook, it's easier for me to find it than searching through YouTube comments. So yeah, that's still a thing that I want to do. And fortunately enough, I have like 2 that are for sure going to be done, regardless of whether you guys say anything or not, because I've been planning them for months. I just haven't done them. One of them is, I'll go ahead and give him a shout out now, and then I'll do the feature later. It's Genesis Automotive. It's Eddie on Genesis Automotive. And it's because his Facebook, he uses his Facebook page as as a way to advertise and stuff, promote. He doesn't have a separate page. His personal one is what he uses. So that's what kind of like the only thing that's held me up on giving his features, because I wanna link his Facebook page, and hopefully you guys can go add him. What's up, Mr. David? You go add this guy, and then you can see what it is I'm talking about. But even if a lot of you guys don't rush and add him, I expect at least a couple of you to. So to make sure that he's actually gonna, add people that do that, I gotta check with him first. Nothing, man. I'm just chilling, Mr. Laser. Slow start to a day. I wound up fucking being up late as fuck last night, like 5 o'clock in the morning, and then I woke up at 8:30 in the morning, and I've been like off and on sleep since then. So I decided that I've had good enough sleep. Z, I'm surprised to see you here. How you doing, man? So yeah, I guess other than that. I guess other than that quick little update, man, I don't really have much to say today, except for like I said, what I just said just now. But the other day we kind of got cut off early, and it was really late at night, so I'm just going to stick around for a few minutes here and see if anyone wants to come in and say anything. Figuring something out right now. That works for me, Z. We can have a conversation right now. I don't mind. Secret Wars live, baby. I had an interesting morning. Oh yeah, you're right. No, we can't have that conversation. I didn't think of that. What's up, Mr. Reeves? I didn't mean it. I take it back. Yeah, everybody in the world can see this. So what's going on, peoples? Any questions? Anything y'all want to talk about? Because I don't have anything officially scheduled, even though I do have a whole bunch of shit I need to talk about. Like right now would be sometime if you got any kind of request of something you want to see outside of the H22 lineup, and that includes HGF, all that shit, because that stuff is all still coming. You got a scored block? You gotta send me pictures. You gotta see what the damage is. Might not be as bad as you think. Usually isn't. Oh yeah? Yeah. Well, if oh, okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure I already talked to you about it then. I don't remember exactly what I said, but yeah. Zarek, you're crazy. I'm still trying to scheme on that one, man. I'm trying to figure out how the fuck I'm gonna do that one safely. It's possible. I definitely think it's possible. It'd be one of those things. If you were here, it'd be for sure. Like it'd be for sure a thing. But being the situations, yeah. And just in case any of you guys are wondering too, like when y'all hit me up on Instagram and certain places, I mean, generally speaking, I say aside from Snapchat, Facebook's definitely the best way to get a hold of my attention. Snapchat I don't always have open, but I mean it's fine. I like the conversation and add me on Snapchat is cool because it kind of cures boredom for me when I'm fucking if I'm just sitting around. Snapchat will be something I go through and look at pictures, car pictures and stuff. Instagram is a little bit more of a pain in the ass because if I'm not next to my phone, I'm not going to see it, and because I don't open Instagram on a regular basis, a lot of times you guys send me notifications or whatnot that I don't see. Because if I'm not following you, then it kind of goes to that secondary box thing, and then I don't see the notification. And generally speaking, on Facebook, I generally answer everybody as soon as they ask me a question, unless I'm in the middle of something. Like if it's like fucking 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm watching TV because I happen to be awake at stupid reasons or stupid hours, then the chances are I'm not going to answer you till the next day. But I'll see it and I'll know to check. Oh, if you can like copy and paste what the fuck you said, that would be helpful. Because right now I'm using my phone, so I can't go back and check the conversation. I can't remember what I told you. Unless you just want to paraphrase real quick, because like I said, I can't remember the conversation. I mean, I remember having the conversation. I just don't remember exactly what I told you, what I said. Okay, yeah, I remember the rod knock thing. And it turned out to be, oh, okay, your piston pin came out and it drug the wall. Okay, I remember. What's up, Mr. Brandon? David, I might do the Type R video today. It depends on how I'm feeling after this. After this live stream, I'm gonna go work out, take a shower, and then depends on what or who's talking to me is depending on if I'm gonna sit down and do that Type R video now or not. Well, I can't afford any kind of new car. I still got 2 cars I'm paying for. I got 2 years left on my truck. I'm not buying anything. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. I've never ever seen a wrist pin come out like that. That block that you have is probably still usable, but you know. Zarek, honestly, I know some people who have worked on those chargers, and a lot of them say that the base models and shit, especially, they're all pieces of shit. They break really easy. The only charger that I'd be ever interested in having would be a Hellcat. It's one of the few automatics that I would drive the fuck out of. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't buy a charger that didn't have at least the V8. I don't know how many packages a fucking charger comes with. Board at 84 millimeter. No. Yeah, well, generally speaking, most of the packages in Dodge are different power levels, different engines. I think like even the fucking Challenger has like 6 different packages. It's crazy. You got your V6 Challenger, you got this, you know, the fucking, then you got the regular V8, then you got the Scat Pack, and then this fucking thing, and that fucking thing. That's crazy. Generally speaking, I prefer to get the fucking most powerful version of the car. But like, you know, being the Dodge goes all the way up to the fucking Demon now, that's not happening. Yeah, but if I had money to drop on an American car, I'd probably be the Charger would be what I would get. But it'd have to have the one with power in it. Justify me driving an auto. I don't know, man. Reams, if you go look at the suicide block I built, it's called the suicide block for a reason. And I've had plenty of builds I've done that have similar kind of scarred up damage. The only thing I would say about that is the fact that, from what I remember, yours goes all the way up and down the cylinder. But if you have a hone tool, man, you should really just give it a hone yourself and then go over it before making a decision, because overboring or buying a new block is not usually something you have to do. Well, I mean that the V8 RT, yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad either. I just wouldn't get the V6. Mr. Laser. There's a tool that they make to extract those. I've never run into this problem, but I mean I've known people have. But there's a tool that you make to extract them. They're snapped off and broken there, aside from taking off the head, which would suck. Oh, so to follow up real quick on Reem's little issue with the block, anytime that you have a block that's damaged that you're considering tossing because of damage, as far as cylinder walls goes, always give it a hone yourself. If you have a hone tool, give it a hone and see how it looks and feels after that before you decide to just toss it aside. Stonerville, ask your questions, man. You ain't gotta ask a question to ask a question. Just ask the question. Blah. Big question. That's what I'm thinking, right? Got the whole world in suspense here, man. Hi, what's up? Yeah, what was it, Spade? As far as the H2B kit, I've just typed in H2B on fucking eBay, and there are several cheaper versions. They're like around the $400 price range. I would grab any of them, or just compare pieces, look at it, make sure they have the entire kit, and then get one. Because honestly, the H2B kit is just like extra pieces of metal bolted on to hold the transmission in place and the axle. Forged rods don't give engine power. They're generally lighter speaking than regular rods, or they're very light for their size, and they're extremely durable. So the pistons is what helps generate more power. The rods just hold the shit together. Carlin. Yeah, I work at a shop. I work for this shithead company. I'm still there. I'm probably not going anywhere anytime soon unless they fuck me again. I love the company. I just don't happen to like the shop that I'm in right now. And it's not so much most of the people, because the majority of people I work with there are cool. It's just the management. Unless you're talking about my personal garage, which I build engines in, and you just guys haven't seen that because I've got nothing to do right now. Yeah, I would eliminate the balance shafts just because it just saves me a little bit of headache and extra work. And the balance shaft, all it is supposed to level out your engine at low RPMs and shit like that, so it don't idle so rough. But think about this too: less moving mass equals more power. You have less parasitic loss. So I mean, it's not like a huge amount of power. I'm not saying fucking delete your shit so that way you can get a power jump, but you know it does. It does. The same thing with like the whole shit with AC. Like if you have AC and stuff in play, then it, more parasitic loss. Same with power steering. All right, Mr. Reams, take care. Peace. Appreciate it, man. All right, so keeping with the fact that, yeah. What's up, Mr. Henry? Michael, so how you doing? So it looks like I'm going to stick around here for about another, let's say 13 minutes, unless fucking we got a lot more activity going on here. I'm not trying to force you guys to ask me questions or whatnot. I'm just, giving you all the opportunity. I know I've been ghost for a while. Yeah, that's definitely good, man. It's good to have a fucking deadline for yourself. It gives you something to push for. That's exactly what I do with my weightlifting. I've been pushing myself, and I've only recently hit a nasty plateau, but it's whatever. Yeah, I kind of threw out there like around 10 o'clock in the morning I was going to do one, and I did say on the last live stream that I was going to do another. Honestly, I wound up finding that the same amount of people, generally speaking, jump on these, like, no matter if I plan it or not. So this way, I think that the live stream is like, unless the channel ever gets fucking huge where I got like 100 people on here at a time, I'm not gonna really bother planning them too much. I'm just whenever the fuck I have opportunity or not. And I thought I was gonna be a little busier today than I turned out to be. Like I was actually gonna get up early and do some shit, but I did wake up early, but I woke up too early, so I wound up spending most of my time in bed instead of get up next and try and do anything productive. So I figured, well, I didn't do anything that I thought I was going to do, and tomorrow's going to be a busy day, 4th of July, woo! So I figured I'd do this shit now. Yeah, I already talked about ECUs in the turbo playlist. It's which ECU do I need? And as far as cams, I couldn't tell you anything about cams for the B18 other than generic information like go get some fucking skunk tubes or something similar. Henry, you don't really need to buy a specific harness. There are plenty of companies that make aftermarket ones, but they're really, really expensive. Anytime you're doing a swap, you just take the harness from the chassis that you're using. And as far as the VTEC question comes along, I think if you have the SI hatch, it already has the ports for VTEC in the body harness that's attached to the car. So as long as you have a VTEC harness, it'll button right up and won't need anything extra. If you don't have an SI and it's a non-VTEC like a DX chassis, then you're gonna have to route VTEC into the ECU directly. And that's actually very easy. I'm terrible electrical shit and wiring, and I was able to do it my first attempt without any effort. And there's actually a really good video that some guy, well, I wouldn't say really good because he does have a lot of extra shit in there, but there's a video on there for how to wire VTEC up, and he has everything in there you need to know to do it. Although I'll suggest that you're going to need like a parts harness to go off with, so that way you can get the pins from the ECU clips. It's easier if you do it like that. Cross-threaded? Oh, okay, yeah. Well, you better hope it didn't cross thread. That would suck, man. Because you won't be able to make new threads while the head is blocked in there because you're going to be dropping metal in your cylinders. Yes, yeah. Somebody Hercules torqued them down. I think spark plugs. I mean, if I was gonna be nervous about spark plugs, I just generally put them in there snug. But if if you're not 100% confident that you're getting your spark plugs tight enough, then there is a torque spec for them. I would definitely look that up. It's not something you want to you don't want to break that. It's a pain in the ass. I would not want to have to pull off a head because of spark plugs. That would piss me off. I'd pull the whole engine out. David, yeah. I've linked that. That website's address a couple times, but I mean, you can always Google it too. Like if you fucking Google search in the Fastlane B Series torque specs, the direct link to that page comes up, and I think all of the torque specs you need there except ARP rod bolts, and I also have a link for that page too. And don't feel bad about rechecking your torque specs, man. I do that shit every time I do a build. I always check it. Especially now, man, because it's been fucking how many months since the last time I did a build? That sucks. I don't know, man. It's like to repeat things. It's fortunately enough, it's slowed down. Where I don't have to repeat too much of the same shit anymore. But I think the ones that bug me out the most are the ones that are just like such basic questions. Like because you know that some questions that can be found immediately with a Google search, and then like sometimes I appreciate the harder questions because if it takes me effort to find the answer for you, then I know that the good chances are that you tried to find something yourself before you just asked somebody. Yeah. The same thing, like I said, when I had that Snapchat conversation about that one guy, and in that video, I think Message to New Subs, when I mentioned that guy, he was trying to build a 500 horsepower engine, and he had like a GT28R turbo. I was like, holy fuck, like, how the fuck did you go through getting everything you need except that? And I know that in that video I was laughing and smiling a lot, so I probably came off a little bit dickish, and that wasn't my fucking goal and intention. I was incredulous as the fact that there are still people out here doing this shit with this much information and didn't know what you needed to do. And the guy, he tried to correct me and saying like, well, I have a GT30R with 35. I went back to that conversation and I took a screenshot of what was sent to me just in case it were to progress. But the guy was pretty cool about it. And, squashed it there like good, because from what he told me on YouTube was different from what he told me on Snapchat. And whatever he told me on YouTube, it seems like he has everything he needs to hit 500 horsepower. But it's still, I mean, even with a port and polish head, man, it's still going to be a little bit more difficult to do with a straight B18. Although I know somebody who's done that. The guy that was talking about earlier in the stream, Genesis, Eddie over Genesis, has a beautiful EG coupe that's B18 powered and makes 500 or something, I think. Yeah, it can, man. It really can feel like babysitting sometimes. But, you know, then, like, what happened this past week, you know, it usually gives me time to settle down. Yeah. It usually gives me time to settle down and reset myself. Like, just take a break from the videos for a little while. I would, dude, Mr. Mania there, I would never do an auto swap. I think I would ride to Burn It With Fire. But yeah, I mean, like, if you're coming from a single cam to a B18, depending on what single cam it is, you're going to feel a jump in power. And depending on what chassis you put in. Because you know, with that being said, my old ass B or D15B that I had in a hatchback, I would regularly romp on dudes with LS swaps if it was in a coupe or a DA or an Integra. But generally speaking, I know that most of these guys that talk about doing shit to their automatic car. Is your first car, man? It's like, is your first time that you're ever considered going fast? Have you considered learning how to drive the old shift box? It's fun. You have more control of your car. You can do more shit with it. I haven't. Oh shit. Well, fucking my bad on that, man. That sucks. Well, and if that's the case, then yeah, I mean, there are options you have with the auto training. I just don't know enough about it to know how long it'll last. And I also know too that when you start fucking when the auto training starts to go, man, it's, you know, then you're looking to replace one, and an old school manual transmission is a lot easier to find than an old school auto transmission. The only good thing is knowing that a lot of the modern cars now, like, auto is definitely the way to go, just because of the fact that they're not giving us a fucking choice anymore, because consumers don't want manual cars. Thanks, Mr. Robert. And yeah, if you want to do it, man, just do it like Nike says, and just do it. Get out there and do it. Thanks, Mr. Bradley. As far as the auto swapping to an hatch, you want to do a little bit more research on that, man, because I don't know if the brackets are going to line up. And I've never heard of you know, there's all kinds of brackets and mounts out there made for auto to manual, but I've never seen or heard of a kit manual to auto, or I'm tripping. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm assuming that your car is standard. Yeah, it might be automatic already. But even then, if you're going from single cam to B series, I don't know if it's going to line up. So you might want to do some research on that. Ah, man. Oh, okay, if you have an Integra, then you're good. Although, what the hell is in it right now that you're gonna swap another B18? Did you just blow up a B18 that was already in there? And you might want to consider grabbing a B20, honestly. If you're gonna stay non-VTEC, B20 is probably the way to go. It's not probably, it is the way to go. It'll make about the same power, definitely make more torque. And it costs about the same too. Okay. All right. Okay. So you're using the Integra as a donor car. Might want to have that fucking stitch weld mount bracket fucking cut out of that car and keep hold of it, just in case you need to carry it over. All right, Mr. David. Catch you later. Peace. All right, yeah, I'm about to dip out of here too, guys. You got any last minute questions? Anything else you want to throw out before I take off? No. The ECU you have in the car should be fine. Oh, well, I mean, the 205 seemed like the better way to go, being a little bit bigger. But I wouldn't do it if you have to stretch them on there, because if you have to stretch it on the rim, then you're kind of like defeating the purpose of a wider tire. John, it really just depends on how I feel in the next couple hours and what's coming up. I'm going to do a workout after this video is finished, and then I'm going to take a shower, and as long as nobody's asked me to do anything, I will probably jump into the Type R video. What's up, Mr. Miguel? Yeah, I can imagine that auto information would be hard to find. Yeah, I guess too that some of the shit that I said here, I'll kind of like cram it down and condense it a little bit and throw it as like a brief update in the Type R video, just to let you guys, or to let everybody know what direction I'm going in the next week or so. I'm not going to promise right now, but I'm going to see about trying to squeeze out at least one H22 topic video before the week is out. It probably does, Boosted. It probably does. That's why I was saying, like, if he's got a donor car, or you can go to the junkyard, or have somebody go to the junkyard for you and just fucking remove that mount bracket from an auto car if you can find one. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Alright, so anyway, guys, it's creeping up on 3 o'clock here, and it's going to take me at least another hour or so to get the shit done that I need personally before I can get back to work here. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off. Thank you guys for stopping in, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.